Hey guys, how are you all doing today? And today I'll be watching The Prestige. Now this is another Christopher Nolan movie that I have not seen. I said in my Interstellar video, which was a fantastic movie by the way. I love the soundtrack, and I've actually been reading up on that movie for the meaning behind it and certain scenes. Because when I first watched it, certain scenes kind of confused me. I'm not a scientific person, but it's very educational because they use real scientific theories, and it was a pleasant experience that movie was. And the sound, I can't get over how amazing that soundtrack was. I actually have the scene when he realizes it's been 23 years since he last seen his children, and he sees the messages and that soundtrack in the background. The score was fantastic. I have watched Insomnia, which is a kind of a, you know, it is a good Christopher Nolan movie with Robert Williams and Al Pacino, but not many people talk about it. The big ones that people talk about when it comes to Christopher Nolan is a Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, and I guess Interstellar as well. And but The Prestige is another movie that is well received that I have not seen, and I have no idea what the plot is. I have no idea what The Prestige means. I don't know. But I know this. It has a fantastic, I say fantastic way too much in my videos, but it has a brilliant cast. The cast has Christian Bale, who plays obviously Batman in the Christopher Nolan trilogy. It has Michael Caine, which is also a staple in Christopher Nolan movies, Interstellar, and the Batman trilogy. And get this, Hugh fucking Jackman. Hugh Jackman's in this movie. You got Wolverine, you got Batman, you got Alfred, all in the same movie. I did not know this. If I knew this, I would have watched this movie a lot sooner, right? And I was wondering what this movie could be about, but Netflix describes this as mind-bending, psychological, and dark. Now, so like a thriller, from what I can tell by that description. I'm not going to read the synopsis because I want to I'm as blind to this movie as I can possibly can, so I want to be surprised. But yeah, The Prestige. And if you want to check out the full-length reaction to this, you can do that on my Patreon. And if you want to see what I react to next, you can vote as well on polls. And if you want to go on the third tier, where you can suggest what movie for me to watch every month. For example, I've been suggested by a couple of guys to watch Dark City, The Intruders, like a slasher movie from the 80s, which is kind of interesting, and Evan Almighty. Evan Almighty, I'm willing to check that out. I've seen Bruce Almighty. Bruce Almighty is one of my favorite movies of all time with Jim Carrey in it, but I never saw the sequel because it didn't have any Jim Carrey. But it has Steve Carell, the guy from The Office, Michael Scott himself, so I'm going to give it a shot. But so expect that this month. And obviously Return of the King and Animatrix and Matrix Revolutions is coming next. But now, today is The Prestige. So without further ado, let's fucking do this, boys and girls. 3, 2, 1, go. Came out in 2006, so a year after Batman Begins, which is interesting.
The magician takes the ordinary something and makes it do something extraordinary.
That looks dangerous, man.
Want to be fooled. But you wouldn't clap yet, because making something disappear isn't enough. You have to bring it.
That's the whole point of it, isn't it? Ta-da!
That's why the part we call The Prestige.
Borden must have placed it under the trapdoor after the interval.
How large was this tank?
How did he
Oh,
do
it's
that?
The normal tense.
How do you think Mr. Borden was able to move the tank under the trapdoor without anyone noticing?
Yeah.
He's a magician, ask him.
I ask again, did this man explain the mechanics of his
I did not expect this. I didn't expect it to be set in this time, and about, you know, magicians. And the same tank that guy was drowning in earlier in the movie. And she disappeared. Oh my. And she's out of it.
But the point is that a real magician tries to invent something new that other magicians are going to scratch their heads over, you know?
Phillips and Julia's on the hoist, she'll break the leg.
It's the wrong number. Like I said, the Langford double will hold tighter.
The Langford double isn't a wet knot. It's too dangerous.
This is the trick. This is the performance. Right here. This is why no one can detect his method.
The great Danton. Don't you like it? But it's sophisticated.
It's French.
What's wrong with that? The Great Danton. I don't have that nickname.
Borden writes as if no one but he understood the true nature of magic.
See? He's all right. He's fine. Look at him.
But where's his brother?
Ah!
He's a sharp lad, your son. You're the lucky one today.
It's all about the illusion. Damn.
Milk and sugar.
What happened to her? Did something happen? Ah dear. What led to that, eh? Him going into that tank, him placing that tank there. What led to that? I assume we're gonna find out.
They've been sold to Lord Caldlow, an avid collector apparently very interested in the case.
Yeah, well, don't let him take this.
Either of you two gentlemen sailors?
No.
I'm sure you can both tie a strong knot.
This ain't gonna work now, isn't it? I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, this is so intense. Ah. Too slow, but quicker. Oh, too late. The Borden. Yeah, how do you feel about that, buddy? What a horrible way to die.
I just don't know.
You don't know?
Really?
I'm sorry.
That's messed up, man. So him using that risky or not caused the death of his wife or girlfriend.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I don't think he likes
Righty,
it.
ladies. Are you man enough, sir?
Ah! Ah. It's Angier.
Which knot did you tie, Borden?
Oh.
Which knot did you tie, Borden?
Don't say I don't know.
I don't know. I tied a simple slip knot. The other half convinced that I tied the Langford double. I can never know.
I don't remember now. Did he do it? He did the Langford double, didn't he?
How can he not know?
How can he not know?
To be honest with you, I feel Angier's pain. Like, what do you mean you don't know?
Cutter, the birdcage can't be our climax. Everybody knows it.
Not like this, they don't.
Anyway, I don't want to kill doves.
Then stay off the stage. You're a magician, not a wizard. You've got to get your hands dirty if you're going to achieve the impossible. In here, Miss Winston.
That's a difference between Angier and
Mr.
oh,
Angier.
it's Black
Don't
Widow.
fit.
Hey, girl. But that's the difference between Angier and
What's so hard about this?
Nothing. You're
Borden.
worried.
He's one to get his hands dirty.
Down here. Breathe as little as possible.
Poor Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson, that's the name, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought you said I had to get my hands dirty.
Well, someday perhaps you will. I just had to know that you can.
Very nice, very nice.
The third act.
Thank you, Mr. Merritt. I haven't had the chance to compliment you on your beautiful theater yet.
Oh, it'll be a lot more beautiful when it's full, Mr. Archer.
Don't worry. Madam, if you'll place one hand on the back of the cage, one hand on the front.
Is that Alfred?
Sir, one hand on the bottom of the cage, one hand on the top.
That's Alfred, that's Alfred. That's Alfred. This bitch.
If you
sense a
need some
rivalry.
inspiration, there's a-
Why would you want the same thing?
Call it a professional rivalry.
Mr. Tesla has built unusual.
I wouldn't say
machines
it's
for unusual
strictly
people.
professional.
I saw happiness. Happiness that should have been mine.
Ah, dear.
But I was wrong. His notebook reveals that he never had the life that I envied.
Ah. You just got schooled.
The man stole my life. I'm gonna steal his trick.
We've got to find someone who looks like you on stage.
He doesn't use a double.
Robert, I don't know how Borden does the trick. So you either wait for him to retire and buy the secret, or you listen to how I would do it. And the only way that I know how to do it is to find you a bloody good double.
Not many people look like Hugh Jackman, I'll tell you now.
Look at you.
Mr. Katzer, Mr. Angier, I'd like you to meet Gerald Root.
What?
A pleasure. Pleasure to meet you, fine.
What?
Yes, you would drink too if you knew the world half so well as I do.
Just don't speak, okay? Don't speak.
Have you thought what we should call the trick?
There's no point being coy. Borden calls his trick the transported man.
The new transport.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
bet you Alpha's gonna be
tonight,
there.
maybe-
We need your showmanship to build up the
Correct.
suspense. Once Root opens his mouth, it's
Yeah.
over. He can't introduce his trick.
Of course I can. I'm a great Danton.
Root, you bloody fool. Get out of that wardrobe and makeup. Anyone could walk in here at any minute. Congratulations, all.
Life is not full of these moments, Robbie. We worked hard. We need to celebrate properly.
Oh,
Power over you.
Thank you.
Alfred. Ah.
This is his diary. Olivia, all of his secrets are right here in my hands.
This is going too far now.
It won't bring your wife back.
I don't care about my wife. I care about his secret.
That's not true.
Robert, I have fallen in love with him.
Then I know how hard this has been for you.
This is backfired. Just a bear. Just a tiny bit.
Notebook.
What's going on here? This is getting dangerous now, isn't it? I think the wheels came off as soon as we found out. As soon as we saw his wife die.
Finally getting your
His
hands
girlfriend.
dirty. That's what a good trick costs, Angier.
Your method for the transported man. Fallon wouldn't tell me. In fact, he doesn't seem to talk at all.
You have my notebook.
Useless without the keyword. Write down your method, Mr. Borden. Describe it in full.
Is he gonna do it?
Alive!
How fast can you dig?
Fallon!
Do you want should have said? I don't know. Like what he did.
He gave you this notebook at my request. And yes, Tesla is merely the key to my diary, not to my trick. Did you really think I'd part with my secret so easily after so much? Goodbye, Angier. May you find solace for your thwarted ambition back in your American home.
Fooled you. Shit.
Sarah, she knows. I mean, at least she knows that something's not right. So, if you can just do whatever you can to help me, whether talk to her, just convince her that I do love her.
What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened?
Destroy it. Drop it to the bottom of the deepest ocean. Such a thing will bring you only misery.
But here at the turn, I'm sitting
in my diary, awaiting your death for my murder.
What?
And it's written in Andrea's own hand, of which we have numerous examples.
How the fuck is that possible? This movie's killing me.
Don't talk like this.
Poor Sarah.
Sarah, shut up. Sarah, shut up! I don't want to hear it anymore! You can't talk like
Poor kid.
Do you love me?
Not today. No.
Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh my god. What a shame. What a fucking shame. Can't believe she killed herself. What about your kid? Yeah, that's not fair.
Very pretty.
It's like the thing in zombies in Call of Duty.
That's it, Cutter? He simply disappears? That's not a trick. But he has to come back. There has to be a
prestige?
Exactly.
Yeah, wait for the prestige. Yeah.
Pardon me.
You should go to him. You two deserve each other.
She has a point there. She's not wrong, even though she ain't perfect herself. For a second there, I thought they were going to show King Kong, but different movie, I know.
Man's reach exceeds his imagination.
No double.
Let him have his trick. I don't need his secret. So
It's the other way around now, isn't it? It's reversed.
back there, you leave him alone. Both of us. Just leave him alone. We're done.
No, you know. Okay. I don't believe that for a minute.
Hey! Where's the bloody key? Where's the bloody key?
It's just like his wife, Julia.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid Lord Cordler was adamant about purchasing this particular item.
Do you think I could
Why?
talk to Lord
Cowler?
Cordler. Yes, I am.
What?
I always have been.
Come on. I love you, Jess. Angier.
But he
Angier.
died.
Well, you think this place can
How
hold
the
me?
fuck did he do
Angier.
this?
Listen, that man is the one I'm to a kill. You say bastard! Listen to me. If he's alive, I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty.
How is... Was it that other guy who looks like him? Was... I don't fucking understand. No, he doesn't. Oh, dear.
Dear God. Hello, Cutter. You're still alive. How is it you're still alive, Robert? I saw you on a slab, for God's sake.
Took his bloody child, too.
Into his damn trick.
Now I kind of feel bad for him.
I'm sorry.
God damn it. The guy's still alive. Now is Lord Caldwell, what his name is. That is so messed up. You're dead this time, pal.
And we were both Borden. The trick is where we would swap. Simple maybe, but not easy.
Yeah.
There's nothing easy about
Oh.
two men sharing one life.
Oh.
Don't understand how it can be pleasing again.
I loved Sarah. He loved Olivia. We each had half of a full life, really, which was enough for us. Just. Every night, not knowing if I'd be the man in the box. Or in the prestige.
disappear isn't enough. You have to bring him back.
Hey. What a mindfuck. What a mindfuck. This movie's a whole trick in itself. And this was the Prestige. This ending part was the Prestige. And all these tanks. Oh,
You
oh
want
my.
to be fooled.
Wow. Nolan, first Interstellar, now this. That's the best way to describe this movie. It's like a massive trick. The end. You find out that Alfred has a twin brother and they swap roles continuously, and it affects Sarah because it's like to her she's living with two different people who love who love another person, and Fallon, oh, wow. And that takes great discipline and great sacrifice to, trying to be someone else, someone you want on a day-by-day basis. But at the same time, it was just all over. Like, then Olivia, she got tired of this between, these two rival magicians. And then this whole thing with Robert. I think if you compare Alfred and Robert together, Alfred was more devoted, and it's proven at the end, with him and Fallon, every single day changing roles, and it came at a cost, it came at a sacrifice when it comes to Sarah. One actually really loved Sarah and one didn't. One loved Olivia, and this movie is just insane. It's insane, and you have Angier at the end with that machine, and he can clone himself, and he practically suicided himself every single time he did the trick, and these tanks are just full of these different clones of him, and his trick. I thought that was the twist of the movie, but there wasn't. It was also Alfred's trick. Alfred's trick was the twist as well, and it was like two Prestiges at the end if you think about it, and and it's kind of, I want to say the word poetic, but it's kind of messed up that he was willing to do that to himself, to his clones so many times, even though that's how his wife died, Julia. So, and when, this just came to my mind as I was talking, it's kind of funny when Sarah was saying, sometimes you say you love me, sometimes I don't believe you, and now that makes sense, because sometimes it's Fallon and sometimes it's Alfred. Like, what the fuck? And at the end, you got Cutter now with Alfred. I'm like, okay, so did he double cross Angier? And at the same time, I felt really bad at the time for Alfred, because I thought, hey, he's gonna be hanged for something he didn't do, and in a way that Alfred was, is still dying. And then he got Fallon, who is actually the one who loved Sarah and cared for the child as much, cared for the child more. I think they both cared for the child, but one truly loved Sarah. It's just a mindfuck. This movie's a mindfuck. It's actually a giant trick, and the ending is like two Prestiges, and very fascinating movie. I did not expect the movie to be about this. When you had this cast, it was a very interesting story, and it was great to see Scarlett Johansson. This movie, a young Scarlett Johansson, before she was a Black Widow, before she had those big roles, and she plays a character that isn't all that likable. She has her problems, but she, at the end, she's like, I give up on this rivalry. I'm getting the fuck out of here, and it probably was a right decision, to be fair. And I thought, and so it ends with the ultimate trick, and it ends with Fallon getting the upper hand in a way, and he gets his daughter, and wow. And now I think about it, this was foreshadowed quite a bit. Because Fallon, you know, the one with the mutton chops and the hat, it was never shown closely in the close-up shot until the death of Alfred, the hanging of Alfred. But before that, you didn't get close-up shots. You didn't even speak. And once again, Christopher Nolan, you have got me to think about your movie once it's done, and not many movies do that, because that last 20 minutes is completely insane. You know, because at first you think it's just basically it's two magicians that go too far, pretty much. And that beginning when Cutter is doing the trick to Alfred, or Fallon's daughter, with the birds, it's essentially what Angier was doing with himself with the tanks. You know, Then you have the transporting man act, and you had Angier desperate to know the secret, and Cutter was right about the double, but Angier refused to believe it because he thought it was too easy, too simple. But even Alfred says, or Fallon says, that hey, it ain't easy. It may be simple, but it ain't easy. It affected his life, and he's right in that sense. And it kind of proved who was a more devoted magician, and that was truly Alfred, aka Fallon. And I have to rewatch this movie down the line just to see, because now knowing the twists, the trick, the prestige of it, it'd be interesting to rewatch this movie and see certain foreshadowings. But yeah, this was a fantastic movie in terms of the story. The story was very riveting, and I didn't expect it to be set in the 19th century, and it had that nice feel, and it was a very interesting concept that I did not see coming. I thought it would be something totally different, and when I saw Angier with that fucking mustache and that goatee with Alfred's daughter, I was like, what the fuck? I was so confused. I'm so glad they explained it at the end. I'm so glad they did. But can you imagine if they ended like that? I would have been completely fucking confused. But yeah, I felt sorry for Sarah though. Like, damn, she ended up killing herself because of this. And Fallon, you know, I bet he was devastated too. And that scene when, because she did see Fallon too, and he left straight away when she entered the place. Damn, that devotion for that trick, you know, the devotion. I respect the devotion, but damn. But yeah, that was my reaction to The Prestige, and very interesting movie. You know, a very interesting, thought-provoking movie, and that is, you know, not many movies can achieve that. Be very thought-provoking like this was, and I had a good time watching it. I really did. And if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this, where I'm just shocked and I'm like, what the fuck? How does that work? What? Then you can do that. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and have a good day.